Hello and welcome to Cutter Farms. We're back with another episode of Nebraska Lands, and today we are going to be, wrapping up this field. I've got a few extra mods installed. I'm not happy with how much of the screen that's taken up right now, so I'm going to have to look at adjusting that mod a little bit here, but we're going to probably live with it for today. We've spent a lot of time monkeying with mods and getting everything set up for the video, and if I keep monkeying with stuff, we won't get anything out. So we're gonna go ahead and push on with this, but my intent there is to get some more information about all of the different workers that we've got on the farm, since we're running this series a little bit more in the contractor mode. I'm trying to keep track of all of our workers and treat it a little bit more like that. We want to know what's going on with our operations. So we have been doing a little bit of harvesting off camera here since the last episode, and as you can see, we're on the final round here in this field. So we're just unloading the combine as we work our way down here, and actually I think he is now unloaded. The baler did catch up with the combine, so he's been just running along behind us there. So I'm going to go ahead and take off here, let the combine do its thing without me constantly crowding into the header there. I've gone ahead and tossed quite a few different equipment mods onto the save here, so I appreciate all of the comments in the last video from people that have been very helpful in reminding me about different mods and things that we could use. In fact, I wanted to try something. I think I finally remembered how the vehicle speed sync stuff is supposed to work, so I'm going to zip back here real quick and I'm going to see if I can get that working. There's two key combinations, I think, and I was using the wrong one. I think if I come up alongside the combine here, if I push Shift 3, it's going to lock me into the combine. Oh, something else is Shift 4, because Shift 3 is supposed to set my cruise control to whatever the combine is right in this moment. Shift 4 is supposed to lock it in so that if it changes speed, I change with it, but some other mod here is kicking in for that. So I am, once again, we're going to have to look at what's going on in the settings files here, or not the settings files, but the key combinations here in my game. There's so many different mods installed that this is pretty common to get conflicts with what the keys are doing. Now, surprisingly, I don't actually have enough in the hopper to fill this semi up right now, so I'm gonna spin around here. We're gonna get ready to follow the harvester back up, and I'll unload him once he gets going. Let's take a look at this contract, though. It's been a little bit since I checked in on it. If we go into the details, I have 51,000 liters, almost 52,000 liters left that I need to deliver. And this contract would probably be complete. The field work is 99% and the delivery is 89%, for an overall rating of 98% on the field if you look up at the top of the screen there. So I'm very excited to have, well, I was going to say to have finally knocked out our first contract, but that's a little premature, I suppose. We got to actually get the first contract done here. Come on, combine, we're waiting on you. I want to get this truck going back up to the elevator. We'll have one full load here and then a little bit left over, it looks like. Not much, though. We're not going to get a huge payout on additional grain left over on a field. Usually with these bigger fields, I feel like we get more grain left over than we're going to have typically. I was expecting, close to a truck full of grain left by the time we got done here. But that is clearly not going to be the case. Now, the other thing that I've noticed since last video, and I was commenting on just how dark the shadows look and the colors look interesting, this map actually runs a custom version of reshade here or has the, I believe, the reshade lighting on it in the map, so it's included at the map level. I didn't install and run that mod specifically, but there's a bunch of mods that come in a pack that CCS 101 includes with the map, and I think that's what is got my lighting set up to look the way that it does, which is cool. I like it. It looks good. It does make getting a crisp, bright screenshot a little difficult for the thumbnail at times, though. I want to jump out and get these bales out of the front of the header. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna let them collect for the time being because I want to get this truck moving, because it takes a truck something like 10 or 12 minutes to do the round trip up to the elevator and back when we send it up with a load of grain. And that's a decent amount of time, so I want to make sure that we're getting that truck moving so that we can switch it out and put a flatbed on it to start collecting the mountain of bales that we've got here, and get those sold somewhere before we're going to be able to complete this contract. So that's the order of business today, is to get this contract finished up finally and see what kind of money we're sitting on once we're all done with that. I do have some mods to swap out some of the equipment on the farm here with, I guess I'll say, better mods that I want to try out and see how that goes. I am gonna, we're getting quite the stack here. It's making me nervous that we're gonna have some kind of a critical failure here. At the rate we're filling up on this little sliver of wheat that's left, I'm beginning to think I'm not even gonna get a full truck left, or it'll be something more annoying where we'll get the full truck to go up there and finish off the mission, but we'll have 10 bushels left or something stupid like that that we're gonna need to sell. And that's not even going to be worth the fuel to drive it up there. At that point, I would be tempted to take another wheat harvesting contract, but this was the smallest field, and this one took about, I don't remember, 3.5 hours, I think, to do in total. Taking on a bigger one would be something like a 6-hour job with the equipment we have right now. I don't think we're going to make enough to purchase another combine here. Yeah, the bales are starting to slow this combine down, I think. I need to get to 1,000 bushels, though. At this point, I might as well just finish the run out and we get to the end of the field. I'll have plenty of space in the grain cart for it, at least. And we'll deal with everything else after that. So much for getting the truck moving. Well, I suppose if anything else, we'll have a nice pile of bales here at the end of the field that we can pick up all at once. Silly stuff like this. Oh, the combine is starting to struggle. All right, let's get out here. Let me see if I can toss these out to the side, maybe. Without getting run over. All right, hopefully, though, this combine's going to stop at the end here because it's all done. It doesn't have some other crazy path that it needs to take. Get its pipe out here. Oh, it's gonna wait for me. Oh, it's done. And it unfolded its header right into the trailer. I don't know why it would have done that, but good for it, I suppose. And we're at 1,020 bushels, which, if I remember correctly, the trailer holds right about 1,000. Let me fold this header back up so that I can move this guy out of the way. There we go. All right. We'll worry about taking all of this equipment somewhere in a bit. I want to get the semi moving with the grain, and then we're going to see if we can pick up a trailer for it to start working on these bales. And while we're working on the bales, we'll figure out how to get going on our next contract job. I have to remind myself, though, I can't complete the mission, I don't think, until I pick up all of the bales or things go goofy. So let me get down here to the other end of the field. We'll drop this grain off and I'll check back in. As expected, we're going to have a little tiny bit of wheat left in this thing. Unfortunate. about, what, 27.6 bushels left. That is, well, that's just downright annoying. However, the semi is on its way, and we are going to pull over here while he takes off and does this thing and take a quick look at our contract list. I have 2 other available contracts, both for harvesting wheat, that we could go jump into, but I'm just looking at the fields here. This is 255 acres, where the one that we just did is just under an acre. So that would be more than double the size that we just did. The estimated time would be 7 hours and 47 minutes. So we're going to pass on that for now. Here's a nice 18-hour harvest job on a 486-acre field. In theory, we'd almost make enough to buy a new piece of equipment off of that, but I'm not going to go for that right now. What we're going to do instead is start to send some of this equipment back up to the farm. So our shop, I guess it's not technically a farm. And let me see how this goes. I just want to see where my road network is. Got to get close enough here. And then we're going to dump all of our bales and stuff off the back of this. Oh, I might need to help it up. Didn't have a big enough bump for it to fall off. And then likewise, we're going to have to buy a pressure washer for the shop at some point. Now, I don't have an Autodrive road network over here, so we're going to have to drive this guy back down the road a little bit manually here to the length of the field, just because I don't know. Well, I could try it out. I was going to say, I don't know what's going to happen if we tell it to go from way back here. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know where he's going, but cutting diagonally across the field, not going to be a good idea. All right, he is good to go. Let's hop on over now and find our buttons. We're going to actually disconnect this head now. And then we can hook this up to the back of the combine and take it up there. For once in my life, we're actually running the headers on trailers and stuff instead of just running down the road with them. That tongue of the trailer had fallen through the ground there. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to hook back up to it, but we're good to go. So we're going to send this to the shop. Oh, I forgot there's not a network here. You know what? I guess as long as I'm here, let's just add a bit of a network here. Even though it doesn't loop, we can at least get onto it from here. This is one of those things where most of the networks are set up for the truck, and so I think it's a little bit more into the middle of the road, but I'm realizing that if I want to have my network run in a way that the combine won't run into something that's coming at it, I need to pretty much be straddling that white line. So we're going to have at least this part of the network really hug off to the side, which means it'll look really weird with all my other equipment running off into the shoulder like the semi and stuff. But that's the trade-off what we have to make for Farm Sim. It'd be really cool if Autodrive added a lane offset property that you could set per vehicle, so that this would always run like, 2 meters off the side of the recorded path, and then we could avoid having to create our paths actually off into the side of the ditch for vehicles that don't need that. And let's slow it down here. Trying to get one more point out of this, but it didn't look like it's gonna happen. All right, I can just see it. This is gonna go to there, and you, my friend, are going to go home. Just making sure everything got hooked up there. And let's go ahead and move some of this equipment out of the way. We do have 27 bushels of wheat here that I'm going to need to deal with at some point. So I'm trying to figure out the best spot to leave this guy. I'm gonna back up actually. And we're gonna put it right alongside the shop here. If I can back up with this articulated tractor is always tricky for me for some reason. Too many spots that it can bend and rotate, and then I always overcorrect. I'm gonna back up past this a ways, and then I'm gonna pull forward so I'm nice and straight. There we go. All right. Here it goes, right in here. And that should do it. And then I believe I'm gonna toss the baler in this shed over here. And our contract only got 99% done. That's not good. What is it thinking? Those 20 bushels are gonna get me across the goal line on delivery? There must be not enough grain delivered. I'm gonna have to go check the sheet now because the semi's already been up there. I would expect on a bigger contract that it's a little bit easier. We got there for field progress, but delivery on the actual crops, it needs almost 17,000 left. There's no way that I've got 17,000 liters from my little 20 bushels here. Well, that's unfortunate. That means that we're gonna have to load in some grain here. So I'm gonna send the semi back up to the shop. As you can see, it's almost a 5-minute drive, and we will empty what wheat I've got in that whatchamajigger and maybe toss a little bit of extra in there just so I can finish my contract. I'm so disappointed that we didn't get enough grain off of that field to do it. I'm trying to think. I didn't have any corners left. We didn't have any issues with crop destruction. So we're just plain coming up a little bit short, which is unfortunate. I wonder if, I think there's a setting in here that I can adjust. Percentage of the estimated total yield you must deliver to complete a harvest contract. Maybe I'm gonna drop this down a little bit, like to 91% instead of 94%. I wonder if that affects, it does affect the contract in progress. So we're gonna do that. It's a little bit of cheating, I suppose, but it's not my fault that that there wasn't enough grain on the field when we did everything right. So that'll keep me from having to cheat any grain into the system. For anybody that hasn't done a lot of contract work, this improved contracts, or I forget what the name of the mod is, but it is awesome for allowing you to set things up. Let me go check and see what this mod is called. I didn't find it, but there's an improved contracts mod that I'm using that is just a lifesaver. I'm trying to figure this out. It looks like Courseplay here has a left shift 4 and a left shift 3 as its debug stuff. I want to get rid of this. Escape to cancel, backspace to remove current key binding. I don't need to use the Courseplay debugging stuff. And then if I do left shift 4, yeah, that it's asking me to start the engine, but it will sync up, I'm almost positive. And then as long as I'm in my settings looking at stuff, I remembered that simple inspector settings are now in game, so I can move them to somewhere else. So I can do top left, bottom right. I'm looking for the best place to put these. I'm going to try top right under clock. I'm going to leave the units here in liters because a lot of times we're looking at liters for certain things. That way I can see my bushels when I'm in things, but liters on the HUD. And then I can show the player names. I'm not in multiplayer, so I'm going to turn that off. Highlight vehicles with the beacons on, sure. I don't need to see fuel right now. Seeing their speed is good. Damage, maybe. Fill level for sure. Show enable, show current and total number of waypoints when course play is in control. No. Autodrive, when enabled, show the time remaining. Maybe that might be useful. We're going to leave it on for a minute. I didn't turn off that many things. I feel like it was a long list, and it's going to take up a lot of the screen. But if I put it in the upper right, below the clock, I don't think I'll notice it as much because there's already a bunch of distractions up there, I'll say. So we're going to go with that, and we're going to come over here and start moving some equipment around. I'm going to take over from our truck driver, and I really should empty this guy out, or empty out the trailer over here. Maybe what we'll do... Man, this thing is loud. Oh, don't jackknife the truck. We're gonna pull it over here and just empty the tractor out. And then I think I'm gonna disconnect it with a little bit of grain in there. I know it's not the best thing to do, but now that the contract is done, I really want to get out there and get those bales off of the field before we go too far and I forget that we have bales, and then we lose out on all that potential profit. So I'm gonna pull this forward now, and actually we're gonna just drop it right here. I think this'll work. Now let me go look at our trailers. Unfortunately, it's $55,000, which we don't have right now. So I'm gonna lease this on the off chance that we don't get enough money from selling all these bales to make this worth our time. And this way, if it works out, I can always do lease to own. I'm pretty sure I've got that mod installed. And if it doesn't work out, we will just return the lease, and it will be no big deal because it's just a couple $1,000s. Now, this trailer is huge, which is a good thing. We've got a lot of bales to haul. I'm pretty sure you don't hook a semi up, backing up to it crooked like that, but what do I know? I'm just a farm simmer. Here we go. I'm gonna head right on out to that field. I'm kind of curious if this thing is gonna let me use the bale mode or not. This is not the right mode. I need to drive to field 26. Here we go. Whoa, I thought it was gonna go straight down that road for a minute. All right. Let's get going. Let's get this out there. Let's see how long this is going to take to pick up some bales and what we're even going to make for our first load of bales, and we'll go from there. Now, the other question is can I remember how to operate the auto drive, or auto load, I'm sorry, on the bales here. It's B for operating position. And I'm sure I could load up the course play course that the combine followed, and then I know I can set an offset in course play and just have him drive around on that same course, and that might actually be a good way to have him load himself up here. Before we get into anything crazy like that, though, I'm just going to pick up the bales that are on the headlands area here. Because those are always going to be a bit askew anyway. And then we will try something like that out. Let's try it. Let's see. So if we come over to the combine, do I still have this course loaded up? I do not have a course. I do have a course loaded up. Collecting and wrapping bales. So let me just see what happens if I say collect bales. Maybe he just does his thing and I don't even have to worry about it. Let me see where the bale selling point is actually while that guy does something. Let's see if we're amazed when we get back. Straw. Bale sell point. Tag place. Oh, look at him go. I don't know if he's doing it the most efficient way possible driving around like that, but we'll let him go. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, before I figure out where this bale sell point is, I'm going to come in here and say for field work, we can actually go a lot faster. This guy is able to drive. I don't want him going 50, but well, maybe I do. Let's see what that does. Let this semi have some speed. Maybe he will pick up the bales a little bit faster. I think he's just gonna get lost driving in circles looking for a bale though. I mean, he's getting them. He's not doing it in the most efficient way possible, but he's getting them. All right, well, again, while that's going, I don't care if he does it super efficiently as long as he can get the job done to a point, because that's one job we don't have to do. And the bale pickup point is going to be down here south of the shop, so we'll head on down here and see what's what at some point. There's some vehicles down here that I think I can use, even though they're not part of my farm, if we wanted to. Okay. Maybe 50's a little fast for this guy. Maybe we need to drop this back down to 30. I feel like he was doing a better job before we did this. What happens if I have him go down to the first waypoint and just drive the course? I can have him go at 1.5 meters off to the side. Here we go. I think this might actually work out a little bit better for us, so let me see what happens once he gets started here. I'm gonna turn on our course because I'm just curious what it looks like. Where are you going? It's the sharp corners. Man, if the train was coming, oh, I guess that's the not real tracks, but if that train was coming, that could have been a disaster. Okay, sharp corners is gonna take too long. I don't have the patience for automation apparently today. We could have loaded this guy up and sent him on his way by now. I don't know if 1.5 is gonna be enough. Nope, we're still clipping him. Let's go 2. Maybe even 2.5. The pickup zone is quite wide on this thing. Yeah, 2.5 feels a lot better. And then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take this down to the bale drop point, and I'll be able to set up course play to handle auto switching back and forth, and I think it might do it once he gets full. I just don't know. I don't think it will though, unfortunately. So we might just have to manually pay attention to this and set him back up on the course once the time comes. I wonder how many bales are still out here. There's a mod for keeping track of how many bales you've got on the ground, I think. All right, well, I'm gonna stop goofing off with the course play thing. This is working, and the other mode would work too if I wanted him to take a while to do it, but I just want this job to get done right now, so I'm going to zip back over here, make sure I've got all the headland bales picked up real quick, and then off to create a course back to the bale point and see if a load of these is even going to be worth it. That's the big question at this point. Because if this is not worth my time, why are we doing it, right? 45 bales feels good. Stacking them 3 high. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. I guess I've got to set up all the way to here, so that's good. I just tell it I want to go back to the shop for the starting here, that'll get us going. I won't have to monkey with every little bit of it. I just noticed, even though we're on low fuel utilization, that I'm already down to, what, about a quarter of a tank of fuel on this semi from running back and forth across the map pretty much nonstop for several hours now. So the fuel is getting used up here. We're going to have to top this tank off at some point. Hopefully we can get all of these bales picked up first, though. But I thought that was worth noticing. And, oh, I can't, I was going to try and take over and take the corner for this guy so I don't take out those signs. I say as I ran right into a telephone pole because I can't get my camera to cooperate. Oh my goodness. I should have just let Autodrive handle it. Autodrive wouldn't have taken out the pole and the stop sign. Probably. All right, let's go ahead and get set up here. We're going to be finishing this course out towards where the bale sell point is. So I'm gonna try and get lined up here, and we're gonna record, and we'll see which point we ended up connected to. The wrong one, as usual. I'm going to fix this and have this come to there. And then, as usual, we need to have a curve that goes the other way as well. And let's, oh my goodness, try and stay in the middle of our road here. Maybe I can fix this a little bit. I should have stopped for gas here, but I'm in the middle of recording a path now, so we will keep on keeping on. Rather than hug the side, I'm actually hugging more the middle with this, because if I tried to come through this with my combine, even with nothing on it, I think we're going to hit the train signals there. So we've got to, whoops, stay more inside than outside right now. We're creating the crookedest course I've ever seen. Yeah, nobody asks me to create the Autodrive courses for the multiplayer servers. Every time we run a big multiplayer server that needs Autodrive courses like this, everybody's like, we got it, we got it. Don't you worry about it. They watch my videos. They know I can't drive. I'm being cautious about going too fast because I'm worried about swerving off the road here. Oh, cute little bridge here. I like it. Little bump up. The bale sell point there in the distance on my right-hand side. I suppose now that we're away from town, I should be at least staying in my lane. My two-way courses on the map here, we're going to have equipment just slamming into each other as we grow here. I predict that my bad Autodrive courses are going to cause us much frustration in future episodes. Now it should be this road here, so I'm going to swing wide because we got these really obnoxious telephone poles here, power poles. And that should do it. And this course is mostly only ever going to be our semis coming here to deliver bales, I think. So I'm trying to stay to the side here. If I brought something bigger down, we'd be hitting these power poles the whole way down, and we don't want to have to deal with that. Looks like this is also potentially a like biogas type deal where I can deliver certain things or something over there. I'm not sure. And an animal dealer. Well, there you go. We may have other uses for this Autodrive course before we're all said and done with things. Oh no, it's a back-in. How are we gonna do this with an Autodrive course? This is going to be tough. I think we're just gonna send a guy down here to get stuck on a regular basis. Oh no, really? That tree has a collision? Okay, I've got delete objects input on, and I'm gonna try and delete this. I'm trying to remember what the button is. It's just delete. Delete object is delete. All right, so I want to get rid of this tree. Boom. All right, now before I forget about it, we're gonna turn that back off because I really don't want to be making a mess of things. And then I'm gonna turn the recording back on. And the hope is that I can do this, and we're gonna do... I don't remember what I called the other ones. I called it sell point. I should simplify that to just sell. And that way we will get to this point, and then I can just switch on over here and back it in. Now, I know there's going to be somebody out there that's going to point the fact out that I can set up a reversing course in Autodrive. I totally could. It's not worth the time and hassle for me right now. We'll find out if that's a thing in the future that I need to do, but for the time being, we're going to just go with what we've got. And I'm going to put this back in operating position. And then I'm going to maybe transporting position. I just want to drop them off on the trailer. Why? Okay, so it's a Y, but it's not actually taking my bales. I have to actually put them way back in there. This is not going to work for me, folks. Yes, bales have to get all the way into this box back in here, so I do have to shove them in. Can I at least open this gate to get back that far? No. Okay. Operating position. I'm going to load all these up. I can only go left to right. I can't go backwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to here. We're going to drop... Why did that do that? I'm going to unload them here. And then we're going to get this trailer out of the way. And we're gonna come over here and load them up manually to start. Oh, can't handle the weight. We might need to get a loader of some kind over here to help me out. Oh, these are worth a lot of money though. All right, folks, it looks like the bale setup here. We need a front loader of some kind. I'm just looking to make sure there isn't one here. I don't see one anywhere. There's no garages or anything where there might be a forklift hiding. Unfortunate. All right, folks. Well, we're gonna help these guys load them up into the livestock building here, and then we might have to figure out something more elegant for the next load for sure. But we're getting 500 bucks a bale, which is awesome money. Unfortunately, I'm having to move them in there like one bale at a time, which is not sustainable for me. Let me see if we can do one other trick here. What would happen if I backed this trailer up and just used it to give these bales a little bit of a nudge? Let's not be quite so zoomed out though. How come I can't zoom in my view? Is it because I'm in edit mode? There we go. Alright, up the ramp. Oh, we're not getting the bottom bales doing this. Hang on. Oh, we've got a nice low bumper on this truck. Oh, these trees. They look like bushes, but they're actually trees. Alright, let's do this. hitting something. I think there must be a collision box here somewhere. There was one other place on the map that you could sell straw, and I'm just wondering if that spot on the map is laid out a little bit better for trailers. So what we're gonna do after I'm done monkeying with this is we're gonna go and check that spot out before we haul another load anywhere. I hate manually dealing with bales. This would have been a lot easier though with some kind of a front loader type device. You know, either a front loader, like a wheel loader with a bale fork on it, or even a tractor would have been a lot easier. We do not have the money for that, and they didn't have one on hand, so we did what we had to do. But we've got everything unloaded now, so let's take a look at the map here. And let's take a look at the map here and just see where the other sell point is for straw. Biomass power. Tag, place, look at map. It's right across the road here. So let's go see what that looks like real quick before we do this. I am reminded that I was not done setting up the Autodrive course. Hang on, I'm gonna pick this up and then we'll go across the road. This is one of those narrow one-way roads that we should have just created one right down the middle for and made it a two-way path. But alas, we didn't think of it. Too late now. We're gonna take this back out to the main road, and then I'm going to jump across the road here to the biogas plant. We're gonna take a look at what that looks like. I'm hoping that that's gonna be a lot easier for us to get in and out of. So actually, maybe what we'll do, I'll take this straight across, and I'll clean up this intersection when we get back to make it go both ways. Here we are. Let's see where we need to go for this. I'm gonna turn in here because that's where the giant green thing is shining me. And it looks like this is one of those things where I'm gonna need to get it up in the top of this thing. Yeah. Okay, so no matter what we do, we're gonna need a bit of assistance in unloading. So I'm gonna just get this guy turned around here, and then I'll put the destination point in somewhere like right here. This is gonna be a sell point. And this was bio power, I think. But once again, not gonna save us a lot of effort unless there's some cool equipment laying around here that I don't know about. I do not see anything useful. Oh, I love the hum of the electric station. Oh, this is a purchasable building that we could be making money from, apparently. That's nifty. Maybe we'll become the power company. I could put up a whatchamacallit, an auger there, a belt of some kind to load my bales. I don't know why I'm walking around. Let's just look at the map. Oh, there is a tractor in there. A forage harvester. Ooh, a front loader. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, look at that. We've got two front loaders with silage forks, or one with a silage fork, one with a bucket. Okay. How do I open these doors? I don't own it, so I can't open the doors. Is that what's going on? I bet that's what's going on. Okay. I'm trapped. Or maybe it just opens from the outside. Either way, it's not going to be super helpful for us right now. So let's go ahead and finish this course and go pick up some more bales. We've been distracted for too long now. So I just need to go clean up this intersection and connect this back up with the other part of the road network. And at least we'll be able to send this guy back and forth. We'll do a better job of unloading this more quickly and check in once we get some bales going again here. We are finally back up here at the field, and I think what we're gonna do is try and hit up this course play course again over on the side and work from the farthest side back towards us. That way we know when we're starting to get done. I'm just gonna figure out where the best place is to start things off. We're gonna do it right here. This is still technically a headland pass, so I want to get this knocked out so that as I start future runs here, we're not having to deal with the sharp corners at the end, and this guy will just kind of loop around on lands mode. Should work out great. I did back the speed down just a little bit. I think it's going to work out better having him run at about 40 miles an hour. That way we're not going quite so fast when we get to the end of the field and have so many issues. But we'll see how this goes. I'm really, in hindsight, wish I'd put him on the next path over, just because now I think I'm going to have to deal with the headlands. Yeah, that's all right. I'll zip him down here to the other corner and get this done with once and for all. We've got a handful of bales in the corner down there that are all part of the headland. I'm just picking up a few of these other bales as long as I'm over here goofing off. And I think what we're going to do, we're just going to end up manually unloading these bales at the original bale sell point. I think that's going to be a little bit easier than dealing with the biogas power setup there, where I've got to lift them up into that container, since we don't have the equipment for that now. I'm a little, I don't want to say disappointed, that's not the right word. I guess I'm disappointed in myself. I don't like having to just do things manually. I'd love to have the equipment to handle that, but we don't have that equipment, and I don't feel like investing in a front loader just so we can sell our bales. I think realistically, if I was running a semi and driving a huge load of bales like this to somewhere to sell, that they would have the equipment to unload them when I got there. So we're going to just kind of wave our hands and pretend that they're handling the unloading on delivery. And I'll probably just cut that out of the rest of the episode here as I handle that unload ungracefully at the bale sell point. And we'll think of a better way to do that for future runs here. So I am done with all the headland bales finally. I'm going to go get this guy on the field proper now. And we're going to see how well running course play up and down is going to work here. He was doing fine on the bale pickup mode too until I increased the speed, so I might just need to try that out here at some point, but let's do this for now because that's how we're set up. There we go. Right down the middle of our lands mode. I could probably get rid of the bulk of these lines now. I just want to see where we're supposed to be going as we're driving around here if I have to help him out. But now that we're booking it, you know, 40 miles an hour is doing pretty good. Once we can afford another semi, I could have this out here just following the baler as well and be picking them up and hauling them off to sell in real time. I think I could manage that when only running one semi or one combine, grain cart, baler. I could handle running one bale trailer and keeping up if we'd had the second semi to handle that for us. So we might have to add another semi to our what do you call it, our fleet of vehicles here for the contractor setup, but I'm watching what this guy's going to do. Is he really going to go out in the middle of this guy's field and turn around? This is the biggest loop-de-loop turn I've ever seen. Really? Course play, come on now. You can do better. What is the turn radius on this truck set at? Bale pickup offset. Yeah, nothing in there. Okay, well, it's doing its thing, but that was kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Either way, we're starting to get full. This is working. It's taking longer than I had hoped though. So I might just end up doing the driving myself. Oh my goodness, what is it trying to do? I didn't stop you manually. Just changing the drop down on Autodrive here seemed to have interrupted course play. All right, we did get bored with letting course play go up and down in lines, so we're taking over so that I can go a little bit faster and slalom back and forth here between these 2 lanes at a time. That way I can get more bales picked up per trip up and down the field. Sometimes they're a little close like that though, and it's a little bit trickier to get them both. But if you can pay attention, you can usually nab them both and it's not a big deal. So we're gonna be continuing to do this. I think I'm gonna just give up entirely on the course play aspect of this. I'm full up, so off we go to sell the bales. We do have a nice Autodrive course though now finally to get back down to the sell point, so I'm going to be leveraging that to make our life a little bit easier here as we run back and forth. And there we go, off we go, already booking it. Takes about 6 minutes to drive all the way down to the Bale point. So yeah, 16x map for you guys. We'll check in on you on the other side. All right, let's see if I can do a better job of this time. I'm gonna bring this all the way back. We're gonna try and get the pile unloaded a little bit, I was gonna say straighter, that's not the word for what that is, but a little bit closer to the center, so that hopefully I don't run into whatever we were colliding with on the previous side. And then if I just bring this over to just past the trailer here, I can hopefully give this a push back this time and have it work out a little bit better for us. No promises. I need a big bumper hanging down on the back of this trailer. It's already a drop deck. I was really hoping I could catch the bales there. I'm catching it. It just isn't going anywhere. It really seems like the bales collide with something up at the top and I just can't get enough oomph to push it past. Probably doesn't help that I back up at the snail's pace. We'll try reverse high. Give it one last big push. Didn't go anywhere. All right, so like I said, folks, we'll be doing it manually for the purposes of today, just because I don't want to sit here and hold things up. But that means that I can send this guy back on up here to field 26. Actually, I have to push, I think it's Y one more time to get him out of the bale unloading mode. And at least while I'm handling the manual parts of this, the truck can be moving his way back up to the field and we will stay productive. That's the name of the game. I'd really like to have gotten our other stuff going on another contract or something, but I just don't feel like we want to take on a multi-100 acre contract right now. So I'm not gonna do that for another harvest contract at the moment, and I kind of need this money from selling these bales to make our next purchase, which I think is gonna be a fertilizer spreader, because there's a lot of good contracts for that out there. And that's gonna be a consistent money maker for us. So let's focus on the things that are going to make us a lot of money so that we can get whatever we want going on this map. And then we'll go from there. So we are back out here in the field, and I'm just enabling the normal bale collection mode for a second here to check and see how many bales we've got left. And it says we have 136, 135 bales left now that we picked one up. That's pretty good. That means that we're gonna have 3 more loads of bales, I think, to pick up here, which isn't terrible. So I'm just kind of watching how this guy's doing. He's got this big turning radius that the course play's using for this truck, which it means he just ends up spinning in circles. So I'm not actually going to use this mode. I just thought it would be helpful to get an idea of how many bales we had to go here. But 3 loads, not too bad. I think we can stomach that, especially with how much money we've been making off of this. So I'm going to do the same thing we were doing before, where I find because this field is nice and long that we can just grab one of these tracks and go up and down the long way and cover 2 rows as we do so. It seems to be working out just fine for us here. And then we can get this truck headed back up to the bale sell point again. Oh, we missed this little tiny spot of wheat. That's probably why we couldn't turn in our contract. Slight sarcasm. So that's another load all on the semi here. We're going to send him on his way back up to the bale sell point. We've got only 45. I don't know why. In my head, I thought I had 55 bales per load. We had 136 left out here, so 2 loads is 90, 135. We're going to have 1 bale left when we're all said and done with the 3 loads. That's going to be mildly frustration. That's like having 20 bushels left in our grain cart, having 1 bale left out here, but it is what it is. We're going to keep hauling here and get all these bales off of the field, and I think we're going to skip ahead, and we will catch up with you once I get the last of these bales off of the field, and then we can see what our final take is from the contract and selling all of these bales off. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we have finished picking up all these bales. What I'm going to do, I put it in transport position. I'm going to unload the bales onto the trailer, and then I'm going to try and toss this one last bale up on the top here. See if we can get it up in a position where I can lock it down with some straps. There we go. We got that thing locked on there. 1 extra bale. And I'm going to get these hauled up to the bale sell point now. I'm going to have to be a little bit careful because when I'm using Autoload bales mode, I don't think that the bales have any weight. There's no mass. There's no physics. It's just me driving with an empty trailer. And when I've got them actually ratcheted down like this, the trailer has the weight, and you can see it's kind of swaying and tipping a bit more here than it was before. So I'm going to have to really watch some of these corners to make sure we don't roll this truck. I would hate to have to spend the last bit of the episode trying to figure out how to right-size a tipped bale trailer and stuff here. So we're gonna probably just drive this up manually to that bale sell point. It's our final load, and yeah, I just don't trust Autodrive. That's all there is to it. And here I said I didn't trust Autodrive. Took a turn too fast, paying the price. All right, well, since we don't have the auto load stuff set up this time, rather than reload all the bales, I'm just gonna grab them and toss them off here by hand real quick. I've gotten quite good at sloppily tossing my bales into the sell point here, for better or worse. I find that it all works out eventually. No need to get too worked up about whether or not you get them in the right spot. You can just kind of shove the ones that aren't in the right spot around after the fact. And we're gonna make a healthy profit off of all this. I mean, we're already over 100K in the bank, and I think we started this endeavor off under 20K. So these bales have proven to be quite profitable. I don't know if that's the map or my difficulty. I think I've got it on normal difficulty, so I think we've just got some very profitable bales, probably to make it worth doing with the size of this map and everything else. If these bales weren't selling for anything, I don't think I would be going through all this effort. It's been a lot of work to move stuff around on the map here like this, but it's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off. We're gonna get the equipment that we've been waiting for here soon, and that's gonna be awesome. We'll be able to start working on some more contracts and stuff, which is what I'd really like to do, is try to keep as much of our machinery moving as we can, you know, have something out doing field work while we're monkeying with these smaller jobs like this. But we weren't quite set up for it yet, and I do think I'm gonna take the no borrowed money approach in this series. I know I said I was on the fence about it last episode, but I think we're gonna do it. We're gonna do no loans. We're gonna make our achievement playthrough here a bit of a harder experience, make sure that we're actually putting some effort in. Like I said, I could just cheat in a bunch of money and go push a few buttons and probably get all of my achievements unlocked, but where's the fun in that? So with all of those bales finally turned in, I'm going to send this guy, whoops, not to field 26. We're going to send him back up to the home base, and we will complete this contract finally. Completed collect. So that's another $66,000, putting us at a total of $200,000. Now, what I wanted to do next, and I know I just said I wasn't going to take out any loans, so I'm going to have to stay with that, is get a sprayer going. Now, there's a couple of different sprayer mods here. I've got this Patriot 350 that we could run that's self-contained, just a sprayer, or I've got the Trident. I've got a few other mods, you know, obviously the 4940, I've got the 4045 that I've used in the past. I think I'm going to end up with this Patriot 350 just because it's self-contained and cheap, and we're currently running a case farm. I don't know if that's going to continue to be the case or if we're going to mix the equipment up. But if I did want to get the liquid system for this, that'd be another $68,000. It is a little bit wider at 40 meters, where I think this one was only 36 meters. So I'm missing out on about 4 meters, 12 feet-ish of working width, which is something that I feel like I'd really want on a map like this. Oh, and we just pushed over the limit on the vehicle leasing costs for this trailer. But I'm going to stick to our no loaned money thing, and we're at 196,000 right now, which means I'm going to come up $70,000 short. So what I think we're going to do, and I don't know that this is a great idea or not, but I'm going to start up by returning this leased trailer, which should cause my my semi to have no problems whatsoever. Oh my goodness. And then I'm looking here, do we own a wheel loader? We just have a wheel loader front. I think we're gonna get rid of some of this. I don't know what we hit, the railroad tracks going too fast probably, now that I don't have a trailer. We're literally wrapped around this telephone pole. Nope, where are you going? Stop, stop, stop. All I need now is the train to come flying through here and obliterate my truck. Okay, as I was saying, I think what we're gonna do, and this may not be a popular opinion, but I'm going to get rid of this baler for now. And we may pick a baler back up at some point in the future. But this is going to let me go over here and have enough money to buy a sprayer. And that'll let me get spot spraying on here. And do I want GPS? I don't think I actually... We're going to get GPS. We might do some of it on our own at some point. I'm not really sure, but we'll go for it. It's going to spray at 15, 36 meters. Man, this one sprays at 21. Oh, it's going to be so expensive if we get the See and Spray. All right, we're going to do it, though. We're going to switch out. I'm going to change my mind here. This thing is the better sprayer, so I'm going to get the big sprayer that goes fast. And I'm going to have to come up with another $100,000? Question mark? Oh, my goodness. 95? I need 295. What can we sell, folks? I could sell this. We're going to sell this for now. We'll come back to some tillage later. We're going to make it happen. So that's 298. I need this thing. I don't know if I'm going to have enough for any kind of options. We can add that on later. We don't need a GPS. We're going to go with it. We're going to go the base model here, folks. I don't think I'd run duals on it. Yeah, we're going to do it this way. Base model. Nothing fancy. Oh, the delivery charge put me in the negative. Well, that's not quite the same thing as taking out a loan, right? We'll make it right. We'll pay off that debt here at some point, but we are a negative $2,100. I don't think that this 20 bushels of wheat is going to fix that, but we might as well go sell that off. As long as I'm thinking about it, we'll find the place with the highest price and we'll go sell our 20 bushels of wheat. My concern is that I've just spent all of that money. I don't even have enough money to buy fertilizer, to take on a fertilizer contract is going to be the issue that we have here. So unless I can get out of debt here, we're going to be in a tight spot. Now, this field is, I'm looking for the size, 95 acres. So about the same size as the field we just did. And so I'm going to accept this fertilizing contract. We will be figuring out how to get the money for this here soon. And we're just going to send this guy on his way to go sell this tiny little bit of wheat that we've got. Luckily, the grain mill is the best spot. So grain mill we go. And you know what? We will set our fill point here, our dump point there. And I'm going to get up here onto the road. See how he does. I think we're going to sell this for like 70 bucks, folks. I think that was the price. We've got 1,000. Oh, this is per bushel. So that's $17. $17 a bushel. That's pretty good. That's going to be like 170, 300, maybe $400. Not enough to get out of debt, unfortunately. So off he goes. Oh my goodness, we're taking out the fire hydrant. And yeah, we're going to let him go sell this. We will check in next episode. We'll figure out how we're going to scrounge together enough money to do this fertilizer contract. We might sell off the Magnum because I do want to replace some of these pieces of equipment with better mods rather than the base game equipment. So you know what? Let's do that now. Because I know I'm going to use the Steiger on the grain cart for the time being. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this off. We're going the wrong way on equipment at the moment, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. That's the theory here, right? Also, I don't have a wheel loader, so I think I might just sell this silage fork. I don't even know where the silage fork is. We'll leave it. We'll keep it. We got plenty of money now. We're going to just keep trucking along here. We're going to be knocking out this fertilizer contract in the next episode, and we'll see where things go from there. As always, continue to leave comments below. Let me know what kind of jobs, what kind of equipment we should get on the farm next. And hopefully after we knock out this next contract, we're going to have enough money to find a small piece of land somewhere and start working on some of these little achievements that we want with some of the animals and different things that we're going to do on the side of our contracting business in this playthrough. However, I think this is going to be a great place to wrap things up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. That's all for today. Ketterk out.